Quarterback at Ursuline, quarterback at Mathews. I started my playing career at Mathews High School. I was there my freshman and sophomore years. We had Pete Simpson was the coach my freshman year, and then I'm trying to think of the coach's name. Brian Tidings was the head coach my sophomore year, and I was there in 97, 98. My freshman year was 97, sophomore year was 98. Obviously in 97 I played a lot of JV ball, didn't play much varsity. And then my sophomore year, when Brian Tidings became the coach, I started every game as a sophomore at Mathews High School. Transferred to Ursuline at the end of my sophomore season. Was at Ursuline in 99 and 2000. You know, my 98 or 99 team, Ursuline, we went 5-5. Started off the campaign at 1-5. Finished off very, very strong, won our last 4 games. Obviously the senior season, we had a pretty magical run. We went 14-1. The only team we lost to was Fitch that year, lost to the Fitch Falcons that year. You know, I attribute a lot of the success. I'm going to talk a lot about the senior year at Ursuline because that was the most memorable year. Just the group of players that we played with that was assembled at Ursuline that year. You know, we came off the 5-5 campaign the junior season, which obviously at that point in time, that was a down season in the city for Ursuline. So our off season was instrumental in the success that we had. We had a lot of really good games that year. I think of the Harding game that we played at YSU, and that was a tough game. I mean, Harding had a really good team that year, and we were down late. And I remember we gave the ball to Justin Adams. I think we ran the ball to the left, and it was, you know, I think he broke it for like an 85-yard touchdown at YSU Stadium. Ended up coming back and beating the Harding team that year. I think that game against Coldwater was just a culmination of what we were leading up to and what we had been building up to the first 4 games in the playoffs. And I think we still, don't quote me on this, but I still think that we hold the record as far as the most rushing yards in the state title game. From that year, I think we rushed for, you know, close to 500 yards in that game. It was crazy. I mean, you know, Ferguson might have had 250 and Graves might have had 250. I mean, it was insane just the success that the offensive line had. It was a heavyweight fight. It was back and forth, just, you know, exchanging punches. And at the end of the game, you know, we made enough stops and we scored enough points on offense. I believe the final score was 49-37. So I just remember the last snap of the game, just, you know, we took a knee and just taking my helmet off and just kind of running around the field and embracing the teammates and just kind of realizing, and it started to set in what we had accomplished, all the hard work from junior season, the off season, to what we did the first 14 games of the year. You know, it was I remember that, just ripping my helmet off and just running around the field like a crazy person. It was pretty special. The senior class that year, we had, you know, Marcus Johnson, who went on to Miami, played defensive end there. You had, you know, John Bartos that went to YSU. You had, you know, Simon Arias that went up to Mercyhurst. Justin Adams went up to Mercyhurst. You know, Tommy Manning was on that team. He wasn't a senior, but Tommy Manning, who's coaching for the Colts now, was on that team. Louis Irizarry was on that team as a tight end. Brandon Dotson, who's coaching in the city right now. You had Ross Kolar, John Angelo, you know, Terrence Graves, Delbert Ferguson. Daryl Clark was, you know, the backup quarterback on that team. So, you know, Jimmy Riley went to the University of Louisville. So you look at the talent that was assembled on that team, and you look at the success that we had in the off season with the conditioning program and the 2-a-days and the, you know, the peer accountability that we had on that team to be great that next year, to make the playoffs, to strive for a state championship. You know, it was what we talked about all the time. It was our motivation when we were doing the 2-a-days in the summertime, is to, you know, get back to the, you know, the Ursuline that everybody knew, the proud tradition, the winning tradition. So the peer accountability that we had as a team, you know, allowed me to grow and become a fantastic leader. And I don't know that I would have become the leader that I am now if I didn't have those group of players that were pushing and that were driving, you know, for that special season that we had in the 2000 campaign.